So, this is my home house where I live already from the age of 17 with my parents. We bought this house, we restorated the whole house, and now I live there with my husband. Necessary because in 2011 I thought, there's always this cello festivals everywhere. There are the violin competitions here in Holland where they do what's a kind of gathering of and no gathering. Even the double basses did something together, and no viola players. And I think we are the nicest people of the orchestra. So why was there nothing for the viola? So I thought. Let's start very small in my hometown here in Dordrecht with a small viola festival. So I thought I'd just invite some friends of mine, and we got the money of the town government. I had just around the corner a very nice church, which was the Kunstkerk, and I could get it for free, so that was very good as well. And we could be in the museum. So this is the museum. Of course, of Corona, it's all closed now. But the nice thing is, here in the museum, we had as well some workshops and like that. And on the other side, it's now totally packed. It's the Kunstkerk, where we started the first viola festival here in the church. So it was really all very near to each other. And they are now restoring it again, and it will be having a public function again. We are really happy to have this, that it's coming back. So the festival was born on the 25th, but there was big announced there will be a viola festival in Haarlem on exactly the same dates as our festival, which was of course very stupid. It was good that there was another festival, but we didn't know because I was organizing here and Esther Pieterlei was organizing in Haarlem. So I thought this should be changed. That when you organize something for your instrument, you should know of each other. So I looked a bit on the internet, and then I found the International Viola Society, and I saw that a lot of different countries have already these viola societies, which really works. Well, why don't I just announce that we are going to found a Dutch Viola Society? Yeah. So I needed, of course, a few people who wanted to start that with me. So I just looked around, okay. So I said, Roald, you will be I didn't even ask him, I said, Roald, you will be my financial support in the Dutch Viola Society. He said, yes. And then I saw Christopher walking around, who was really into everything and like that. And I thought, okay, I've asked Christopher as well. Christopher, would you like to, I asked him, I must say, would you like to start with me the Dutch Viola Society? And he was right away. Francine Schapborn, one of the teachers, he said yes. And I thought I was already within this idea, we need amateur viola players, we need professional viola players, and we need students to have really all the disciplines together, that you know who would like to have what or what. I think I saw that really from the beginning, that I had to do that because I'm an amateur horn player. Right. I play horn in an amateur orchestra, so I know and I see from the back as well. I can see the professional coming from the front over the orchestra, but I see as an amateur, I see as well with the knowledge of a professional player, I see how an orchestra reacts. So I saw conductors coming to the orchestra being really annoyed because they were kind of tired and said, oh, you have to do this and this and this. But, as an amateur, you worked the whole day. you have a shouting conductor on the other side, so which doesn't work. So I had this connection already. So you know more as an amateur player, but as well as a professional. And I was teaching, of course, in Rotterdam. So I knew already the need what the students have. So yeah, this is why I thought about this combination. And I think this should be more acknowledged by all the viola societies. You have to make a guideline. Yeah. Which you can find maybe on the website of the International Viola Society or on the website of the Dutch Viola Society. The Belgians, they speak Dutch as well. So look on our website, I would say, and look what guidelines we have. Maybe there are a few things what you would like to change for your guidelines, and just go to write the papers, and then you're the Belgian Viola Society. Yeah. The step to go to the International Viola Society is very small. Mm-hmm. They will find you, they want to be committed. But then you have to do something. Yeah. So the website is crucial. You have to find the events, you have to find people around who look with you. Are there events, are there concerts, is there something happening?
And I saw the violin at the moment by accident actually, and this man, he was quite clever with funding. So it meant that he bought the violin and he could get money back from the tax, and that he donated to the Dutch Viola Society.
For 5 years?
For 5 years, so I think it was 5 years. So that was, I think, quite important in the beginning. So I put in money and the man got tax reduction. It was an idealistic gesture of me without realizing completely what I was doing. You know, it's all very theoretical when people talk about violin making, and I think seeing it is much better. So the idea was not to make it into a fiddle making race or a contest, but really to show the process of building an instrument to the public. There are 4 builders, all from the same backgrounds. We all studied at the Newark School of Violin Making.
Newark?
Newark.
In England.
In England, yeah. That's near Nottingham.
Right.
Nottingham. And so, you know, I thought that it was very important that we all were friends. Yeah. It was not only having the same background building-wise, but that you also, you know, there's an immense stress in time. Yeah. And the interesting thing was that you start with 4 and there's enough work for the 4, but when the process goes on, at the end you only need 1 person. So it was important to accept who was the quickest and most able maker, which is very hard for violin makers to accept. That we never thought it would work, but the idea, whilst doing it, we thought we make a playable instrument, so in the white, so with the strings on and the bridge you could play it. And of course it changes after the varnishing, you know, it's like a wild horse, you know, an unvarnished instrument. The varnish is like an equalizer, but we thought already then that it worked very well. The people who were in the team really reacted to each other as I hoped. You know, so there was no envy or nobody was showing off or whatever.
No, everybody took the task he was best in.
Yeah, and accepting that, you know. So at the end I did the cooking.
And talking.
Sometimes it happens that everything just seems to fit together. And it did in Rotterdam. This is in a festival in Poznan. I bought dried mushrooms and I'm going to soak them now and use them for the chicken tonight.
And this is not on purpose. This,
no, it's just accident.
It's really actually we live in this whole congress. It's a very big market now. All the people who sell their food are allowed to stand here. But we have a very good fishmongers, and we won already in Dordrecht. We won the prize of the best markets of Holland 2 times. So it's really good, and I think it's because it's so big. So it's not only this square, but it goes on to the whole street along down there, and you see the Corona mask things and like that. So yeah, it's a very nice market. Yeah, very good.
We're just gonna go inside. That's enough.
It's a bit a mess, but that's everything. Plop and collect.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my pottery because I have one big other passion. I have two passions, which is music and pottery. It was even like when I was 17 and I was finishing school, my parents asked me what would you like to be as professional. So I thought I can play the violin, in that time still the violin, and I can do pottery. Which one could I earn money with? And I thought maybe as a violin teacher I could earn my money. And this is so I went to the conservatory in Rotterdam myself as a student. My passion with viola started when I was in my 4th year. So I finished first my violin and then I switched over to the viola very late. So I studied only 2 years the viola. So, but like we always say, your really start of your profession starts after you finished your school. Of the age of 7 I started already with pottery because my mother is an art teacher. So she knows a lot about art and this is what I mainly make. So I'm working now as well on tiles for a kitchen, an old kitchen. And I have to make all the tiles, which are 1700 tiles. So I will be working on that for a whole year. Now here's my oven. Maybe you can.
Yeah, sure. I'll walk behind you.
This is as well where my toilet is. But so and you can see it's still on 652 degrees. It went up till 1060 today, last night, because the tiles. There are 100 tiles now in this oven. So I can every time I can do 100 tiles in one go into this oven, but with pottery as well, of course, a lot. What's nice about the building as well to tell is it was an old fire brigade. This was the room where where the fire pumps were standing, and because of that we have these 3 doors that they could go really out of it. And where did they build the fire brigade houses? Always next to the church. So I have the church right away.
Yeah, so we can see it. Let's just go look out the window here. You can see the church right here.
The church, where we do concerts as well, which is nice. Well, the garage of my husband's car, a 3-wheeled car. It's a bit bumped because he had an accident, but there will come a new car for him. Yeah, I like, of course, the technique of throwing on the wheel like that, but I like decorating as well, and so I like to make doing some designing into the pots, which I really like. Unfortunately, people like always very plain crockery, which is sometimes a bit boring. And what I do with my customers who buy with me, if they want to buy, for example, their whole outfit of things, they get something home. So I give them a few plates with them, and they have to eat from it first before they decide. Because at home it always looks different as when you are in a shop. So this is how I work.
So for our international viewers, what if they can they order something from you online, or how could they order something?
Yeah, they could go to my website, which is Hof 3. So where we are now, this is the Hof of, and they call it now Hof of the Netherlands, which is not fair, because it's the Hof of Holland. And we were only these 2 provinces, we were Holland, and now the Netherlands is of course much bigger. But still, what is so important of this square is not the square itself, but the history where what happened. So in 1572, we were still conquered by the Spanish people, and we didn't get them out of the country because of one reason. We believed we had all these kinds of religions. The one was believing that the left toe should be on the right foot and the right toe should be on the left foot. These stupid small things where we were quarreling about. So we were quarreling about that instead of gathering together and get the Spanish out of the country. And in 1572, keepers of the towns got together here in this square by William of Orange, and they signed a manifest that everybody was allowed to believe, to think, and to do what he wanted, which is nowadays, I think, the most big topic again. So the manifest is here in this building, and you can still sign it. We worked the first year to a national Viola Congress, which was held in, where was it, Deventer. Yeah, which was really nice, and we had a wonderful time together. And then we visited, for the first time we visited in Krakow in Poland, the first International Viola Congress. We were sitting at the table, we were very nervous, like school children, to come in this classroom with all founders of or leaders of the International Viola Society and everything, and we were sitting at this big table with all the societies together, and we really thought about, ooh, who are we, you know, just as a small child coming into there. And then we hear that people were talking already about a new congress made, and I went like this to, what should we do as well, an International Viola Congress? Yeah, that's nice, yeah, but not next year. No, of course not next year. And I said, well, we are quite new here in this group, but we would like already to announce that we will host the Congress of 2018 in the Netherlands. So we had 5 years to organize, which
that's fine,
I thought,
right?
well, that's fine. But then we came home, of course, and we had to tell the others. And I said into our first meeting, I said, well, actually, Roald and I, we thought maybe about organizing 2018 the International Viola Congress. And we thought, we'll look around. But I must say, they were all very enthusiastic. So we thought, okay, this is okay. So we can go. In Rotterdam, I had my partners like the doula, I do, because I was working there at the doula. I worked in Codex in the university. So, so this was totally where we should be. Yeah. So we found our partners and everything, and worked from that on. So Dordrecht is as well known by the name of Small Venice. We have all the channels going through the town. The whole square was built over the river. I think still it's very poor, the houses on the backside, but it changes in this last 20 years enormously. There are more people who are really more fond of their house and know that the house has a back as well. So we are now on the Lange IJzeren Brug, which means the long iron bridge. It's a very long bridge, it's over one of our harbors. And what you see there is the big church. It was built on cow skins, and what you can see, I think as well, that it leans a bit to the right, which happened, of course, a lot in Holland. The soil is so soft that so they couldn't finish the church. They wanted to build it much higher, but it's not possible because the church was hanging over more and more. So they had to stop. So this is our museum harbor. Once in the 2 years we have Dort in Stoom, which is all the steam boats, steam trains and everything will come to Dordrecht. And this harbor is one big festival of steam. I'm really happy. Yeah. Of course, in everything what you organize, there's something where you think, this I really don't like. How it's going on, working with people about some issues. Yeah. But in general, I'm so happy that we did it. And that's, I think, the reason why I'm still here. So we are now actually in front of the old Europort. So not Rotterdam, but Dordrecht was a big harbour town where all the ships came from the sea. They came into here, and here was the place where you had to pay your taxes. All from river, where you're looking now. That's the river, that's the Rhine, and which goes to Köln, to Switzerland, like that. There, that's the river which flows to Rotterdam. And then you have on the other side The river goes here on the corner and this goes to Zealand.